Why, hello gamers. I know it's been a little bit since I've decided to record something. I just have not had that much free time lately. I got a new job, which has been rewarding to be able to work a new job. A job that seems like it's going to be panning out better. I'm not quite sure yet because I'm still doing the training that is thankfully paid, but doesn't really have much to do with anything. But I figured that since we're approaching the middle of the year, I last decided to switch back to making anime content over Pokemon content about a year ago, and it's been one of the best decisions of my life. I feel so much more satisfied, so much more personally satisfied making videos about anime than I do about Pokemon, because I just like Pokemon, I just like anime a lot more than I like Pokemon. I enjoy Pokemon too, but anime is like my main passion. It's the thing that like I actually really like diving into. So I've decided that since we're approaching the middle of the year, since my birthday is literally in the middle of the year, so I'm not 20 yet, but I will be 20 soon. I figured I'm gonna rank all my videos on a tier list, but I'm not gonna be doing it like the traditional S to D tier stance, since I feel like ranking my own videos based purely on quality isn't a very good idea. What I instead want to do is ranking them based off of my satisfaction for how much I feel like the videos meet my high standards, because I have very high standards for the videos I make. I intentionally try to make the best videos that I think possible, and sometimes my videos just don't meet my standards, and whenever I do, I try to reevaluate what my goal with the videos is, and just try to think of it through that sense. I think so I think this will be an interesting video because it's going to be able to help the viewer understand more of like my content philosophy and how I go about making videos, of all the effort and hard work that I put into these, because I put in a lot of effort into these. I care very deeply about the content that I make. I'm very passionate about what I make, and I want that passion to show through what I make. Because if it doesn't, then it means that I made a bad video. But the second thing that I want to do through these, is to, through understanding my own content, I hate using the word content because I consider my videos more art than content. I'm not factory farming these fucking things. I'm putting my fucking soul into it. So I'm not going to use the word content. Content's a demeaning word. I'm going to use the word videos. Because these videos, I care so much about the process. These videos are videos that I put a lot of effort into. And I want to make the best videos possible. Because just working hard on a video isn't enough. You can work really hard on a video, make a really long video, but just because your video has a fat word count doesn't mean that the video is good, right? There has to be actual substance behind what is said, and not just, look at how big my fucking penis is. It's a very tough balancing act, because I want to make long, informative videos, but I also need to be concise, because in order to make something that's actually worth a damn, you have to condense what you say, because if something shouldn't be in a video, then it shouldn't be in a video. Anyway, so that's kind of my preamble out of the way. So I guess I want to start with my why do we create video, and the one that I started it off. And I think this is a perfectly decent video. I don't really have any issues with this one. It was a really good way to get myself back into content creation. And I'd say I'm satisfied with the video for what it is, which is me getting back into the groove of things. And I think it's a pretty decent video as a result. I think my main issue with the video is that I focus a lot on manga summary. When I focus a lot on summarizing the manga that I'm speaking of, a little bit more than actually analyzing the manga that I'm analyzing. Not to say that there isn't analysis, because there is, and that's the reason why the video is decent. But I ultimately feel like there's just too much summary over analysis in the video. And I do feel like it holds the video back a bit. Not to say it's bad by any means, because it's fine, but it's not the best thing that I've made. And I do have to be honest with myself when I say that. Regardless, this video still has a really soft spot for me, because it's what got me back into making content to begin with, and I thank it a lot for that. The next up is my Why Should We Be Kind video. I actually think this video is pretty noticeably better than this one. So I actually will put it in the almost satisfied tier. The almost satisfied tier are the videos that that only have like a couple, 1, 2, maybe 3 problems. Like 1 to 3 problems, and these problems are major problems, don't get me wrong. But otherwise the video is good enough to where I actually can say it meets my standards. Well, it doesn't meet my standards, but it gets closer to meeting my standards, right? So I quite like this one. Not even really for the video itself, but more so for the impact that it's had on my life. This video went ridiculously viral. It's at over 70,000 views, and it's a video that means a lot to me because it's a video that, because I was talking about why we should be kind, right? Kindness is not something, it's not easy to be kind, it's not. You had to make a lot of sacrifices in your life if you want to be that kind of person. And oh shit, I just realized I forgot about a video on here. Let me look for it in my files real quick. It shouldn't take too long. I don't really know what I'll yap about. Oh, there we go, found it. There we go. I believe it's here on the timeline. No, I think it's here on the timeline. I'm actually gonna check real quick because I'm not entirely sure. Oh fuck! I forgot about the socks video too. So I didn't get my good. Okay. I can't believe I forgot about the socks video. The socks video is fucking hilarious. It's I enjoyed making that one. I think more than. We'll talk about that one in more depth later. Well, it's right here on the timeline. Okay. So so about the kindness video though, because I made the video, it went mega viral, and then I realized something. I think I want to practice what I preach, which I made the video as just kind of like I like this manga and I want to attach some deep meaning to it, right? That was what I wanted to do, because I think it's a lot of fun to analyze the sort of deep qualities of certain stories. But when it went viral, when people resonated with the message that I had to say, it made me realize that this channel, I don't want it just to be an anime analysis channel. I also want it to be a documentation of my maturity, because I'm young, I'm immature, I do stupid shit all the time, and I do stupid shit that, in my opinion, doesn't make me a good person. In my opinion, I am not a good person yet. But after making this video, I realized I want to try to be a good person. I want to put in the effort that I need to be a good person, and it's influenced a lot of aspects of my life. It's influenced me trying to see my family more. It's influenced me not taking my friends for granted the way I did in high school. It's influenced me choosing to get a job in caregiving over being in a fast food restaurant. It's influenced just so many aspects of my life. And it's a kind of positivity and encouragement of trying to do the right thing that I try to leverage in my own videos, something that I think is very important to sort of spread as a message to people, because it's hard to do the right thing. It is, and I struggle with it constantly. I remember I was driving today, some fucking dumbass did some dumb shit on the road, and then I started fucking swearing and shit, getting all angry, and it's like, this doesn't achieve anything. Why am I doing this? So that's something I had to work on personally. It's like an example of the growth that I still need to do. But yeah, I'd say the kindness video, I appreciate it more for what it represents as opposed to the video itself. In terms of the video itself, it actually is just a straight up improvement from the last video. And in my opinion, the reason for that is because I mix in summary and then analysis, summary, then analysis. I use that format. And I think it's through that format that that video is able to actually work better. And I quite like that format. Okay, I gotta turn my fucking AC off. I think It's either one of my water bottles or one of my figures. It's making this really fucking annoying, like, da-da-da-da tapping noise, and it's just driving me fucking nuts. So, but yeah, so the thing with the video is that, like, I do think it's outright better formatting-wise than my last video, which I'm very happy about, that improvement that I made. And then, outside of that, I don't really think there's a ton more that I did differentiating-wise, but that one difference actually does matter a lot. I will say, though, I appreciate this video more for what it represents as opposed to what it is. The video itself it's alright. It's decent. But I appreciate it more for what for the path, the journey that it eventually led me on, and the direction that I decided to take the channel in after its success. And so the next video is my Justice video. I think that my Justice video is better than my First Kindness video. And my favorite part about this video is the writing. I rewatched this one lately, and I'm really impressed with the way that I was able to write this one. Just the formatting of it all is genius. It's I did such a good job with it. I don't like tooting my own horn like that. It's embarrassing, to put it simply. It's embarrassing. But I also like being honest, and I think I did a good job with that. The video suffers for a few reasons, though. And they are actually much more important and major reasons than the last video. I fucked up quite a few things with this one. The main one is just the fact that the subject as a whole isn't conducive to a viral video because I'm spoiling 3 different series. And it's not even like minor spoilers either. It's major spoilers for all 3. Like, you have to have watched all of Death Note, which takes about 25... No, it takes about 15 hours to watch all of Death Note. You have to have read all of Oshinoko, which it'll probably take you like a week to do that if you're binging it, which you should, because the manga is fucking amazing. And you also had to complete Persona 5, which that's the main barrier, because that game's over 100 hours long. And it makes the video just less accessible for people who aren't familiar with all 3 series. Other than that, though, I like the writing, and the only other major issue I have with it is that sometimes I would actually drone off and get a little bored watching it. And it wasn't because of the writing. The writing wasn't really the reason for that. The reason for that was the editing. I find that the editing of this video is underwhelming, and the main reason for that is because I just didn't know how to use anime footage yet, which means that the Oshinoko section looks really dry whenever I'm talking about scenes from the anime. I was mostly able to avoid that because I was discussing the manga. I also failed to use footage from Persona 5, which is weird because you can find video game footage very easily off YouTube. And YouTube footage is easy to download. I already knew how to do that. I guess I was just lazy. And then the Death Note section was especially dry. That section really suffered in the editing because I used like screenshots from the anime instead of footage, and it's like it's hard to look back at certain aspects of this video because it's just like editing wise it's so behind what I make now. The one aspect of the editing that I actually do enjoy though is some of the visual gigs. I remember I photoshopped Kamoshida's head on top of EDP. I thought that was fucking hilarious when I was rewatching it. I actually got a chuckle off of that. I also had the Not Like Us album cover behind Madarame, which is another one, another visual gig that made me giggle. Other than that, though, it's a video that I want to love. I want to be satisfied with, but just the issues of it are just too major. They're just too major. I can't really be I can't really give it the benefit of the doubt, because there's just too much holding it back. My Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant video is one of my best videos in my opinion. I love this one. I say the only major issue I have with it is that I do feel like I gas up the series too much. the actual show itself isn't quite as good as I make it out to be in the video. I think part of that was because it was still airing when I started writing it. We didn't know how it ended up ending. And when it ended it, I kind of felt more like, yeah, it was still a pretty good show. As opposed to, yeah, this is amazing, like I made it out to be. But I also have a real soft spot for the series, mainly because of the process of making... I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be Canadian, so... the process of making this video. And it was through making this that, like... I just... because the idea... Like, so, the idea of this channel in general is to document my journey of maturity, right? In this video, I talked about how to be creatively fulfilled, creatively motivated, and my Show Me Your Love video. And my Hitman video, I talked about why it's important to be kind. In my Justice video, I talked about why it's important to stand up for yourself, but also why revenge is not something that is suitable for is not equivalent to defending yourself, right? How vengeance and defense aren't the same thing. In my Why Should We Persist video, I made it after my Justice video flopped in terms of viewership. And my Magical Girl video, I discussed how the failure of my Justice video made me reassess why I was making videos to begin with. And my reasoning came down to, I don't care about views. Obviously, it's gonna hurt when a video doesn't do well, obviously. I'm a YouTuber, that's just how it is. But I make videos because I love making videos. And that was the video that reminded me that I love making videos. If it weren't for this video, the rest of these probably wouldn't have been made. So this video holds a very, very soft spot in my heart for what it represents for my channel. I really, really appreciate having been able to make this. And next up is my Japanese video, which kind of feels like a one-off filler video. I think this video is mid. It's fine. It's actually not even really fine. It's just kind of eh. It's okay, I guess. Like, it meets the bare minimum standards for a decent video. But, like, why would I make a video about my Japanese progress when I'd only been learning for a couple of months? Like, there are so many better tutorials than mine. I actually would go on a limb and say this is probably my weakest video. It's either my weakest or my second weakest video. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, this is a video where I actually think I can put this in the why did I make this tier. It feels so pointless. It's not even a bad video either, but for me, a mediocre video is a bad video. So by my standards, this one just doesn't cut it. This is one of my weakest works. And then my Senko-san video is one that I don't know what tier I want to put this in. I'd say this is probably one of my most forgettable videos. I haven't gone back and rewatched it, mainly because it's not really old enough for me to be bothered to. But like, it's just, oh wait, there's another video that I forgot to, yet another one that I forgot to put on here. Let me grab it real quick. There we go. Did I release it before, or I released it before the autism video? No, I never remember that. No. Yeah. So the Senko-san video, I think it's a good video in the sense that, like, I'm glad that I was able to make that big long analysis for a series that I absolutely love, and for a series that doesn't get the love that it deserves. I'm a massive fan of both the Senko-san anime and manga, particularly the manga, which I just don't feel like it's discussed, like, at all online, because this is a genuinely fantastic manga. I think my main issue with the video is that it's another video that's kind of rampant with summary, and it's also just too long. It's just too long. I have a lot of information that I cram in, and I think this video mostly suffers from the lack of organization. In the video, I discussed the idea of if it's okay to relax, which is kind of an idea that I got over before I came back to this channel. It's something that it's something that I'd already matured past after graduating through graduating high school. But it's an idea that it's an idea that was very important to me back in a different era. It wasn't really the next step in my journey of maturity, like most of the videos that I made are. And it's as a result of this that I think the video is one that I have more surprisingly mixed feelings on, because there's so much that I want to discuss in the video. Is it okay to relax? Why should we be kind? Just a lot of there, because Senko-san is a deep manga. No one will admit it, right? Because it's the fucking fox girl taking care of this guy. It's just some dumb wish fulfillment fantasy, right? But like, it's not. It's a fantastic fucking story, and I will stand by that. Just for the rest of my life, man. I love this manga, and I feel like this video suffered from me being too passionate about the source material to the point where I couldn't really condense everything down to a point where I was satisfied with it. I just had to talk about everything, and I think that by talking about everything, the video kinda suffers a bit. I don't think it's mid-video by any means, especially since I had a lot of fun making it, and especially since you can notice the amount of effort I put into it. I put in a lot of effort into this. I think it's like low decent tier, honestly. It's a video that I have more mixed feelings on. I wanna say that I love this one, because in terms of the amount of effort that I put into this should be my magnum opus. It should, but it just isn't. I feel like there's just a little bit too much flawed with it. Like, instead of making this because it's the next step in my maturity, I made it because, well, my other videos covering Rimukuro's manga got a lot of views. So I'll talk about his most famous manga. Why not? But the next video is my follow-up on kindness, and this one peaks in the decent tier just because it's intentionally made to be lower stakes. Like, it's not made to be this big, grand video. It's just me, because there's not really any anime that I can attach to this one, to that subject. This was the first video that I made that was more about my personal life than it was about analyzing something. And I think it just went to show the sort of gradual shift that my content that my videos started to take with time. And it's a shift that I'd say is pretty good, but at the same time, if I'm not going to be actively analyzing something, that I also feel like the video is generally not going to be as good as it would be otherwise. Because this is one of my more forgettable videos. Not to say it's bad, though, because it documents a very, very important step to my maturity. It's about why it's hard to be kind, why my sort of philosophy on why I don't consider myself to be a good person yet, but about how I believe I can eventually become a good person due to the effort that I want to put into becoming a good person. This was the video that I made sort of addressing how much it really mattered to me that the initial kindness video succeeded the way it did. And then next up is the CGDCT video. I'd say this is a video where, like, from a technicality standpoint, this is probably one of my most just like generally best works. I remember I discussed it with my friend Boreer. My friend Boreer has more problems with my videos than I do, which I'm glad that he does, because it gives me a less biased, more objective stance on how good my videos actually are, especially to someone who's not an anime fan, because he's not an anime fan, he's just looking at the videos for what they are. I'm very, very happy to have a friend like that. I'm extremely grateful for that. He told me that this was the first video that I made, first anime video I made, where he was hooked the entire time, where he could watch all of it in one sitting, without getting bored. Well, really getting bored at any point. it even like made him interested in checking out K-On!, which I was excited about because K-On!'s one of my favorite anime. And like it's I think because of that, this is probably one of my best overall videos in terms of like from like a sheer quality perspective. Despite that, I actually wouldn't say I'm very satisfied with it, and I think the reason why is because it doesn't really tap into that idea of maturity that the rest of my channel does. It just discusses a genre that I really like. It does a good job analyzing that genre. I don't really have any issues with any of my analysis in the video. In fact, I think I actually did quite a good job with that. It's more so just like that little personal touch. I did have some at the end, but it just doesn't really hit as hard as my other videos do. As a result, I feel like this is more forgettable of a video than it should be. And it's for that reason that I can't put it in the very satisfied with tier. It's probably going to be at the top of almost satisfied, but it's not something I can really put in the tier above. At least I can't really justify doing so. And next up is the socks video. This is another unambitious one. I made this one as a joke. It's been in my joke video library for years. And I finally got around to it, because I figured, fuck it, the last video I talked about K-On! A lot, I may as well make my joke K-On! Socks video, because I thought it'd be funny. I think it's a decent video. I had a shitload of fun making this one. In terms of like the amount of fun that I had making a video, this is probably at the top, or at least it's very close to the top. But ultimately, it's like, as I put it here in the decent tier. But like ultimately, it is a less ambitious video, and you can definitely tell. I can't really put it above this tier in terms of like my satisfaction with it. And then my video on Love Game, I feel like is another one of my more forgettable videos. It actually does discuss the next step of my maturity, but instead of really discussing like, because it's about the subject of insecurity, how insecurity breeds a lot of growth, but it can also breed fear and stagnancy, which is something that I've noticed in my own life. My insecurity has convinced me to start working out. My insecurity has convinced me to keep making videos. My insecurity has convinced me to keep finding better jobs, keep finding better gigs. But my insecurity has also prevented me from having any progress romantically. My insecurity has made it a lot harder for me to connect with people in general. And my insecurity can show in other areas too, like my posture shit. Like, I think I'd be like an okay looking guy if it weren't for my posture. My posture is that bad. But yeah, so like it's a very important video in terms of showcasing like the progress that I want to make, but ultimately it kind of just comes off as me complaining more than me fixing, which that's what I like about my other videos, is how uplifting I'm able to make them feel. This one, it was just kind of me being like, yeah, this aspect of my life kind of sucks, or at least that's kind of what I got out of it after I finished making it. Hopefully that's not what the audience got out of it, but I'm not the audience. I'm the creator, and just based off of the creator opinion, I will put this at the bottom of decent. I think it's like almost in mid-tier. This is one of my most forgettable videos, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I don't really remember the process of making this one as much. Compared to like my other videos. I love the manga too. Love Game is a fantastic fucking manga, but I think my analysis of it is like fine, but I don't know, I'm just not satisfied with it. I'm actually gonna make a new tier called Mixed, and I think I can put both the Zenko-san video and that video in that tier. I think that represents my thoughts just fine. And then next up is the how to show anime to friends video, which is probably my biggest departure in terms of formatting. I took a massive departure in terms of formatting for this video. And like, I think this is a good video for what it is. I'd probably put it at like the bottom of decent tier because like it's inherently less ambitious than the videos that I have above it. But I also don't have any problems with this one. In fact, I quite enjoyed making this one. I'll be honest, editing it sucked. Editing it was boring as fuck. But recording it was a lot of fun because I like my friends a lot. My friends are fun people to record with, and I think the people who did watch the video, which not very many people did, I was expecting that. But for the few people who did watch the video, they tended to get the idea that like as friends we do have legitimate chemistry, which I'm glad because like because me and my friends had so much fun with that one to the point where like my friend Andrew, he makes video. He made another video with me about like Spider-Man, uploaded to the Uncut channel. And we plan on making another one this weekend, assuming both of us end up having free time for it. Because we just enjoy yapping. We don't have the exact same interests, but we still enjoy yapping. And I enjoy hearing his opinions about like superhero stuff because he's super passionate about that stuff. And I have more of a casual interest in superhero stuff too, right? So I like vaguely know some stuff, but he can like go super duper in depth. That's fun. I just like hearing people be passionate, right? That's kind of what this channel is to begin with, right? What the idea of it is. And then next up is my 2025 autism video. A video that I think I did such a good job with to the point where I don't think I need to make an autism video ever again. I did send in an application for a job where I actually would be working with autism. But I haven't gotten anything back from that job yet. If I get that job, I probably will have enough to talk about for another video. But just from the perspective of someone who doesn't really research much about this topic, most of the video is personal anecdotes, right? Because autism is a spectrum. Whatever I say about autism, I can't be said for everyone who has autism because that's not how a spectrum disorder works. And as a result of that, I'm just kind of like, I don't really feel like I have much else to speak about with the video. I would say that in terms of the video, I should be very satisfied with it. I think the only reason why it's not quite at that level for me is because I say the only reason why it's not quite at that level for me is because I have discussed the subject before. It was kind of hard for me to justify making this video when the video before it was fairly satisfactory as well. This video also didn't really blow up a lot. It didn't have a very big impact. I think part of that is because I'd been making videos for less than a year at that point after my return. And not as many people at that point are really going to care about my stories about having lived with the disorder, which I think is fair enough. So my next video, because like I was in a creative rut after making this video, I'm not going to lie, because I feel like I've just been kind of going through the motions at that point. So when I made the short anime video, I made it as sort of like a let's scale back the ambition with these videos. Let's make something that's more low effort, more like traditional anime tuber sort of video. And that resulted in the short anime video. I'm not gonna lie, I don't like this video like at all. I'm actually not gonna put in the why did I make this here because it's a video that because what I learned from this video wasn't that what I learned from this video wasn't the fact that what I learned from this video was that I don't feel comfortable settling for mediocrity. It feels weird to say that I didn't notice that I felt that way for almost a year, but when I think about the ways that I'm so harsh on a lot of what I make, I look at this, go, yeah, I don't think I can be your average anime YouTuber, making cookie cutter videos about a subject. Because when I made the video, I was like, I mean, I guess I care about the subject. Like, I care about the subject. Of course I do. It's anime related. I'm super passionate about anime. But do I, like, care about the subject to the point where I'd want to spend over a month working on the video? And when I think about it, I just go, no, I don't. And that's when I realized that I'm fucking sick of the complacency that I've had with my channel. When it comes to not having enough of my own life poured into it, speaking about a subject that I've already spoken about countless times, having a video that sort of just feels more forgettable, and it was that, when I realized that I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to make a video where I'm gonna try to make it my best video yet. That is what I'm gonna try to do when I make it. And in my opinion, my friendship video is the best video I've made. It doesn't meet my standards. It just doesn't. I have some more minor issues with the video, even though I just released it, because I'm that hard on myself, right? But I'd say I'm satisfied with it. None of the videos I've ever made have meet my standards, but I don't think anything I ever make will ever meet my standards. And I think that's a good thing. Because if I make something that meets my standards, then I'm gonna make something more forgettable, like my video about short anime. Which I don't want to make forgettable videos that anyone else could make. I want to make videos that only I could make. My friendship video, only I could have made that. My Magical Girl video, only I could have made that. My Justice video, only I could have made that. Hell, even something like my CGDCT video, only I could have made something like that. And it's those videos that I prioritize more than others. I think the only real exception of the almost satisfied tier is the kindness video. But again, that's more one that I respect for what it represents for my journey as opposed to the video itself. The video itself is more in the decent tier for me, but yeah, so that was a lot of me yapping about how I feel about my work. I'm going to use this video and this tier list as a sort of blueprint for how I want to think about the videos that I make going forward and the types of work that I want to make in the future. Other than that, I don't really have that much else to talk about. I hope you enjoyed hearing my philosophy on making videos, because it's something that I think about very carefully. It's not something that I put over, not something that I throw under the bus a lot. I care a lot about making the best videos that I possibly can. So I hope that you're excited for what I had to make next, because the next video idea that I have is one that should hopefully, well, the idea itself sounds more like it's going to end up in the almost satisfied tier, but who knows? Maybe I could end up really hitting the nail on the head with it, but I'm not quite sure yet. And then we're going to be plugging the Patreon as always. I do have a Patreon. If you want to give me a donation, that would be very appreciated. I have quite a few rewards for those who are interested. For the fandom tier, you get like basic shadow tier gives you no benefits, but it's more so just for like people who want to support me on a budget, right? Fandom tier gives you the Patreon roll call, it gives you the Discord server. The roll call allows you to have your name at the end of the video. The Discord server is the best way for you to contact me directly. I'm very active in my own server, so if you're active in my server, then it means that I'm going to be able to have conversations with you on a very regular basis. So long as you're not an asshole. In that case, I will unfortunately had to kick you and cancel your membership. But I'm sure that if someone's giving me money, they're going to treat me with the respect that any human would deserve, right? Then you also get early scripts. Scripts as soon as I finish writing them. Which that's a feature that is not, I don't do through the Patreon anymore. That's a Discord exclusive benefit, which is why the Discord is very integral to the to the Patreon. And then then you get my scrapped ideas, which, yeah, is a lot of it, 300 plus. And video suggestions, which you can grant an uncut video suggestion once per week on the, once every other week on the uncut channel. And then I can change that amount whenever I want. The Confidant tier gives you access to video benefits such as early videos, exclusive videos, and unlisted videos. I say that's fairly self-explanatory. Then the God benefit gives you top Patreon, which gives you a custom roll color for the Discord server, and roll calls. Your roll call will also be displayed more prominently in the end of the video. Currently I have that for the Confidant tier because no one's doing the God tier yet, but... And then the Google Drive, you get access to my entire Google Drive minus, like, the private shit, right, that I keep to myself. But when it comes to, like, all, like, YouTube-related stuff, you get access to all of that. And then and I also want to thank my Phantom tier patron, Squizzy, and my Confidant tier patrons, Regimania and Eternum. Very thankful for the donations that you guys give. Helps keep me, helps keep the channel going. Yeah, I'm insanely blessed to have that financial support. All right, I'll see you guys all later.